Hello, and a warm welcome back to the USA English Podcast. I'm Erica.
And I'm Marco. Right here on this channel, our mission is to help you acquire authentic English through natural, everyday conversations. We want English to feel practical, approachable, and warm in your daily life.
Absolutely. We concentrate on usable English that you can apply in speaking tests, casual chats, professional environments, academic settings, and travel situations. Our ultimate aim is to make you sound more natural and boost your confidence each time you open your mouth to speak.
And today's subject is extremely valuable for IELTS candidates. That's correct. We're exploring how to discuss your personality in the IELTS speaking section. This subject appears frequently in oral exams. The examiner might ask questions such as, how would you characterize yourself? Are you an introverted person? Or has your character evolved over the years?
Precisely. And numerous learners know a handful of words like shy or friendly, but they struggle to construct a complete response. They want to elaborate, but they stop prematurely.
Therefore, in today's session, we'll demonstrate how to portray your personality clearly, authentically, and with solid examples. We'll also assist you in using straightforward expressions, beneficial adjectives, and simple frameworks that perform well in IELTS speaking.
If you appreciate learning with us, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, remember to activate the notification bell so you never miss a new upload.
All right, Erica, I believe this will be extremely beneficial for many people.
I agree wholeheartedly. Let's dive in. So, Marco, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I feel quite peaceful today because I had a leisurely morning. I rose early, brewed some tea, and enjoyed reading for a while before starting work. How about yourself?
I'm good, although a little embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Why's that?
Because this morning I told myself, today I will be perfectly organized. Then I wasted 10 minutes searching for my keys.
That does sound frustrating.
Yes, and the amusing part is that the keys were in my bag the entire time.
That sounds very human, not just embarrassing.
Thank you. I appreciate that kind response. What did you do over the weekend?
On Saturday, I caught up with an old friend over coffee. We hadn't seen each other in ages, so we discussed how we've both changed. He mentioned that I appear more relaxed now compared to a few years ago.
Really? That's fascinating.
Yes, I used to stress about everything. Now, I still worry, but in a more sophisticated way.
I'm not entirely sure that counts as real progress, but it does sound amusing.
I'll take it. What about you? What did you do this weekend?
On Sunday, I had lunch with my cousin. We reminisced about childhood memories, and she commented that I was very quiet when I was younger. She said I used to sit in a corner with a book while everyone else played loudly.
Honestly, that sounds exactly like you.
Yes, some characteristics never really change. Did that conversation get you thinking about personality?
It did. It reminded me that personality is something people discuss constantly. We describe ourselves, compare ourselves to others, and talk about how we transform over time.
Speaking of personality and self-description, that connects perfectly to today's lesson.
Exactly. Today, we're focusing on how to discuss your personality in English, specifically for the IELTS speaking test. So let's transition to the main discussion.
Okay, Marco, let's begin with the most fundamental IELTS question. How would you describe your personality? I think many candidates panic when they hear that question, even though it appears simple.
That's true. The issue isn't the question itself. The challenge is that learners often respond with just one word like friendly or quiet and then stop.
Right, but in IELTS speaking, a single word is insufficient.
Exactly. A stronger response has three components: one personality adjective, a brief explanation, and a straightforward example.
Oh, that's an excellent framework. So not just I'm friendly, but more like I'm friendly because I enjoy interacting with people and I like making others feel at ease.
Perfect. That's already a significantly improved answer. So if the examiner asks me, how would you describe your personality? I could respond, I think I'm fairly relaxed and sociable. I typically get along well with others and I don't become stressed very easily.
Yes, that's a very natural response. What if someone is shy? Many learners use that word.
That's fine. Shy is a useful and honest word, but again, don't stop there. You can say, I'm a bit shy initially, especially when I encounter new people, but I become more at ease after a while.
Oh, that's good. It sounds well-rounded.
Yes, balanced responses sound more authentic and sophisticated.
Wait, what does balanced mean in this context?
Here, balanced means not overly simple or extreme. It indicates that your response shows more than one facet of your personality.
Ah, I see. So instead of I'm shy, I can say I'm a little shy in unfamiliar situations, but I'm very open with close friends.
Exactly. That's much better. I think that's a major IELTS tip already. Provide some detail.
Yes, let's discuss useful personality vocabulary. Some common positive ones are friendly, calm, organized, patient, honest, hardworking, creative, outgoing, and confident.
And some more cautious or softer ones could be quiet, reserved, sensitive, stubborn, or a bit impatient, right? And notice something important. You don't always need only positive words. In IELTS, honest answers are preferable to perfect ones.
That's interesting. So I don't need to sound like a superhero?
Definitely not. If you claim I'm always confident, patient, creative, and hardworking, it may come across as unnatural, also a little suspicious.
Yes, exactly. So how would you describe your personality, Marco?
I would say I'm quite calm and structured. I enjoy planning ahead, and I typically think carefully before making choices. I'm also a bit reserved when meeting new people, but once I feel comfortable, I can be quite warm and chatty.
That sounds very accurate.
Thank you. How about you?
I think I'm friendly and easygoing, but also a little absent-minded. I usually feel at ease talking to people, and I like joking around. At the same time, I can be somewhat disorganized, especially in the mornings.
That sounds honest and natural, which is precisely what IELTS wants.
Wait, what does easygoing mean?
Marco, easygoing means relaxed and not easily bothered. An easygoing person is typically calm and comfortable in various situations.
Ah, that's a good word. So if I say I'm easygoing, it means I'm not too serious or difficult?
Yes, that's correct. I think learners often confuse quiet and introverted. Are they the same?
Not exactly. A quiet person doesn't speak much. An introverted person usually feels more comfortable with fewer people and may need solitude to feel refreshed.
Oh, that's a helpful distinction. Yes. In IELTS, you can say, I'm quite introverted, so I enjoy spending time alone. Or, I'm quiet in large groups, but I talk more with close friends.
That's really useful because many people aren't the same in every situation.
Exactly. Personality isn't captured by one simple word. What if the examiner asks, are you similar to your friends? How should learners approach that?
They can start with a general statement and then draw comparisons. For example, in some ways, yes. My close friends and I are all quite friendly and open-minded. However, I think I'm more organized than most of them.
Oh, that's great. You agree a little, then add a difference.
Yes, comparison makes the response more interesting. So I could say, I'm similar to my friends because we all enjoy talking and laughing together, but I think I'm a little more relaxed while some of them are more serious.
Perfect. That's the exactly kind of answer IELTS appreciates. Let's discuss another common question. Has your personality changed since you were a child?
That's a very frequent one. Here, learners should contrast the past and the present. For example, yes, I think it has changed quite a lot. When I was younger, I was much shyer and quieter. Now, I'm more confident and comfortable expressing my opinions.
That's a strong response because it includes both time and contrast. Yes, you can also use phrases like in the past, when I was a child, these days, or as I've grown older.
Nice. So, for me, I might say, when I was a child, I was quite sensitive and easily embarrassed. Now, I'm still sensitive, but I'm much more relaxed and less concerned about what people think.
That's an excellent answer.
Really?
Yes, it's personal, honest, and very easy to follow. What does sensitive mean exactly?
Sensitive can mean you feel things intensely. For example, you may be easily hurt by criticism, or you may pick up on other people's emotions very quickly.
So it can be positive or negative depending on the context.
Exactly. That's good to know. Some personality words aren't simply good or bad.
Yes, and that makes them useful for IELTS. Another question could be, what kind of personality do you like in other people?
Yes, that's common too. Then learners can say, I like people who are honest and kind, or I usually get along with people who are open-minded and have a good sense of humor.
I love good sense of humor. That's such a natural phrase.
It is, and you can explain it too. For example, I enjoy spending time with people who have a good sense of humor because they make conversations more relaxed and enjoyable.
Nice. So I could say, I like people who are kind, funny, and easy to talk to. I think life is easier when people are warm and friendly.
Perfect. That sounds very natural. What if the examiner asks, do you think personality is more important than appearance?
That's more abstract. Then learners should give an opinion and support it. For example, yes, I do. I think personality is much more important because appearance is only the first impression, but personality affects how people treat others and build relationships.
Oh, that's a really good answer.
Thank you. You can also say appearance may be important at first, but personality matters more in the long term.
Wait, what does in the long term mean?
It means over a longer period of time, not just now or at the beginning.
Ah, okay. So first impressions are short, but personality matters in the long term.
Exactly. I think one mistake learners make is using very formal words they don't truly understand.
That's true. For example, some learners try to use words like charismatic or ambivert because they sound advanced. But if they cannot explain them naturally, it's better to use simpler words like friendly, confident, or quiet.
So simple and clear is better than fancy and confusing.
Always. Let's talk about confident. Many people want to use that word in IELTS.
Yes, and it's a good word, but learners should be careful. Confident means you believe in yourself and feel comfortable doing something. It doesn't mean loud or arrogant.
That's important. Some people think confident means talking a lot.
Not necessarily. You can be a quiet but confident person.
Oh, that's interesting. For example, I'm not very talkative, but I'm quite confident when I need to share my ideas.
That's a great sentence. Thank you. You can also say, I'm quite organized. I like making lists and planning my time carefully. That sentence belongs to you.
Yes, it does. Mine would be, I want to be organized, but my desk doesn't always agree.
That's also very honest. Could learners use stubborn?
Yes, but carefully. Stubborn means you don't change your mind easily. It can sound negative, so it's often better to soften it. For example, I can be a little stubborn sometimes, especially when I strongly believe in something.
Ah, so the phrase a little helps.
Yes. Softening language is very useful in IELTS. You can say a bit, quite, fairly, sometimes, or tend to be.
Tend to be is a great phrase.
It is. For example, I tend to be quiet in large groups, or I tend to overthink things.
Wait, what does overthink mean?
It means thinking too much about something, often in an unhelpful way.
Oh, I know that word very well from personal experience.
I thought you might. So if I want to sound natural, I can say, I tend to overthink small problems.
Exactly. I think examiners probably like that because it's genuine.
Yes, genuine answers are easier to deliver. Well, let's discuss the question, are you more like your mother or your father?
That sounds like an IELTS question too.
It does. A learner could say, I think I'm more like my mother because we're both calm and careful. We both think before we speak, and we don't enjoy noisy situations very much.
That's nice. Or, I'm more like my father because we both enjoy talking to people and making jokes.
Yes, family comparisons are very common in IELTS topics. What if the learner doesn't want to sound too direct, like saying, I'm lazy?
Then they can choose softer, more natural language. Instead of saying, I'm lazy, they can say, I can be a bit unmotivated sometimes. Or, I sometimes put things off.
Oh, put things off is useful. What does that mean?
It means delay doing something. For example, if you should do your homework today but do it tomorrow, you put it off.
So that is a polite way to describe a bad habit.
Yes, exactly. And what about patient?
Erica, patient means calm when something takes time or is difficult. For example, I think I'm a fairly patient person, especially with children. Or, I'm patient when I teach someone something new.
It's easy to support with an example.
Yes, and examples are very important in IELTS. Right, because if I just say, I'm patient, the answer is too thin.
Exactly. But if you say, I'm patient because I don't get angry easily and I don't mind explaining things more than once, the answer becomes much better.
That's such a good pattern. It works for many adjectives. I'm honest because. I'm creative because. I'm independent because.
Wait, independent is another great personality word.
Yes, independent means you like doing things by yourself and making your own decisions. So I could say, I'm quite independent. I enjoy solving problems on my own, and I don't always ask for help immediately.
Perfect. Can we talk about introvert and extrovert a little more? Many learners want to use those words.
Of course. An introvert usually feels more comfortable in quiet settings and may need time alone to recharge. An extrovert usually enjoys being around people and gets energy from social situations.
Recharge. What does that mean here?
Here, recharge means feel strong or energetic again.
Ah, okay. So an introvert recharges by being alone, and an extrovert recharges by being with people.
Exactly. But remember, many people are somewhere in the middle.
Yes, I think many learners feel that they are not completely one or the other. Then they can say, I'm somewhere in the middle, or I'm a mix of both. That's very natural.
That's such a helpful phrase. I'm a mix of both. Yes. For example, I'm a mix of both. I enjoy spending time with people, but I also need quiet time by myself.
Honestly, that's probably my real answer.
Mine too, in some ways. What about the question, is your personality different at work or school compared with home?
That's a very good question. Learners can say, yes, definitely. At work, I'm more serious and focused. At home, I'm much more relaxed and playful.
Oh, I like that contrast. You can also say, I think I'm basically the same person, but I show different sides of my personality in different situations.
That's such a smart answer.
Thank you. Personality changes a little depending on context, and that's normal. So I might say, at work, I try to be more organized and professional, but with close friends, I'm much more silly and spontaneous.
Perfect. That sounds very human. Wait, what does spontaneous mean?
Spontaneous means doing things naturally without too much planning.
Ah, the opposite of you in many situations.
Yes, but maybe not a complete opposite. Sometimes you can be spontaneous too.
Sometimes, but usually after making a small plan.
That is the most Marco sentence possible.
Thank you. Let's talk about how long answers should be in IELTS. If the examiner says, can you describe your personality, how long should the learner speak?
In part 1, the answer should be natural and not overly long, maybe 2 to 4 sentences. In part 2, the learner can say much more. In part 3, the answer should be more developed and thoughtful.
So learners should not give a 10-second answer, but they also should not give a 5-minute speech in part 1.
Exactly. Balance matters. What are some good sentence starters for this topic?
Good starters include, I would describe myself as, I think I'm, I'd say I'm, in general I'm, most people would probably say I'm.
Oh, most people would probably say I'm is really nice.
Yes, because it gives a slightly different angle. So I can say, most people would probably say I'm friendly and easy to talk to.
Exactly. What about giving a weakness without sounding too negative?
Then use soft language and balance it with context. For example, I can be a bit impatient when I'm under stress, but I'm trying to improve that. Or I tend to be quiet at first, although I open up later.
Under stress is useful too, yes. It means when you're feeling pressure or worry. I think that kind of answer sounds mature. You're honest, but not harsh.
Exactly. IELTS likes thoughtful self-awareness.
That's a good phrase too, self-awareness, yes. But for learners at this level, they can just show it with simple language, right? No need to sound like a psychology textbook.
Definitely not.
Could we build a model answer together? Of course. Let's imagine the question is, how would you describe your personality?
Okay, a good answer could be, I would describe myself as fairly calm and organized. I like planning things in advance, and I usually stay relaxed even when I'm busy. At the same time, I'm a little reserved when I meet new people, but I become more talkative once I feel comfortable.
That's so good. It has adjectives, explanation, and contrast.
Exactly. Now you try one.
All right. I'd say I'm quite friendly and easygoing. I enjoy talking to different kinds of people, and I usually try to keep things positive. However, I can be a bit forgetful and disorganized sometimes, especially when I have too many things to do.
Excellent. That's natural, balanced, and very IELTS friendly.
I think that phrase, IELTS friendly, makes me happy.
Good. All right, one last question. If a learner only remembers 5 key words for this topic, what should they focus on?
I would say 1 adjective, 1 reason, 1 example, 1 contrast, and 1 softener.
Oh, that's smart. So maybe friendly, because, for example, but, and a bit.
Exactly. With those tools, learners can already build a strong answer.
That's really encouraging.
Good. That's the goal. All right, let's move to the vocabulary breakdown.
You know, Erica, while we were talking, we used many useful words. Let's go over some important personality vocabulary.
Yes, please. This part always helps me remember things more clearly.
First word, reserved. This means quiet and not very open at first.
Oh, yes. We use that to describe someone who doesn't talk a lot in new situations.
Exactly. For example, I'm a little reserved when I meet strangers. Another example is, she seems reserved, but she's very kind. And you can also say, he was more reserved as a child. And maybe I sound reserved in large groups, but I'm talkative with friends.
Perfect. A related word is quiet, but reserved is a little more about personality. What's one situation where you feel reserved?
Formal events. I always become a little more careful there.
That makes sense. What's next?
Next word, easygoing. This means relaxed and not easily upset.
Right. One of my favorite personality words. For example, my brother is very easygoing. Another example is, I like easygoing people because they're comfortable to be around. And you can also say, she has an easygoing personality. And maybe I'm easygoing most of the time, unless I'm very hungry. That's a realistic sentence.
A common opposite might be serious, strict, or tense depending on the situation. Are you always easygoing?
Not always, but I try to be.
Good answer. Next word.
Next word, confident. This means believing in yourself and feeling comfortable with what you do.
Oh yes, such an important word. Exactly. For example, she's confident when she speaks in public. Another example is, I'm more confident now than I was in high school. And you can also say, he gives confident answers in interviews. And maybe I feel confident when I prepare well.
Perfect. A useful note is that confident does not always mean loud. What's one situation where you feel confident?
When I know the topic well and I have time to think.
That's very natural. What's next?
Next word, sensitive. This means feeling things strongly or noticing other people's feelings easily.
Right. That word can be positive or negative. Yes. For example, she's sensitive to criticism. Another example is, he's very sensitive and notices when other people are sad. And you can also say, I was more sensitive when I was younger. And maybe, sometimes sensitive people are also very caring.
Exactly. That's a great point. What's one good side of being sensitive?
I think sensitive people often understand others better.
I agree. Next word.
Next word, stubborn. This means not changing your mind easily.
Ah, yes. A dangerous but useful word. For example, I can be a bit stubborn sometimes. Another example is, my grandfather is stubborn, but he means well. And you can also say, stubborn people don't give up easily. And maybe, being stubborn can help when you really believe in something.
Exactly. So again, this word is not always fully negative. A softer way to use it is with a bit or sometimes. When are you stubborn?
When I think my plan is good, even if it clearly isn't.
That's honest. What's next?
Next phrase. Tend to be. This means something is often true about your behavior.
Oh, yes. That's a great speaking phrase. For example, I tend to be quiet in new situations. Another example is, he tends to worry too much. And you can also say, I tend to stay calm under pressure. And maybe, I tend to forget small things when I'm busy.
Perfect. This phrase is useful because it sounds softer than a direct statement. What's something you tend to do?
I tend to overthink before important events.
Very relatable. Next one.
Next word, independent. This means liking to do things on your own and make your own decisions.
Right. A very useful personality word. For example, she's very independent and likes solving problems alone. Another example is, I become more independent as I get older. And you can also say, independent people often enjoy solo activities. And maybe, I like traveling with friends, but I'm also quite independent.
Excellent. A related noun is independence. What's one way you show independence?
I like figuring things out by myself before asking for help.
Good example. What's next?
Next word, patient. This means calm when something takes time or is difficult.
A very nice personality word. For example, my teacher is very patient. Another example is, I'm patient with children. And you can also say, he isn't very patient when technology stops working. And maybe, I'm trying to become more patient in daily life.
Perfect. The opposite is impatient. Are you a patient person with people?
Yes. With slow internet? No.
That sounds accurate. Next word.
Next word, spontaneous. This means doing things naturally without too much planning.
More or less, yes. For example, my friend is very spontaneous and loves last-minute plans. Another example is, I'm not very spontaneous because I like preparing in advance. And you can also say, spontaneous people can be fun to travel with. And maybe I want to be more spontaneous sometimes. That's a great sentence.
What's one spontaneous thing you enjoy?
Going for a walk without a plan, especially in the evening.
That sounds lovely. One more.
Yes, last phrase, put things off. This means delay doing something.
Oh, yes, too real. For example, I sometimes put things off when I'm tired. Another example is, if I put things off for too long, I feel stressed later. And you can also say, she doesn't put things off. She does everything early. And maybe, I try not to put things off, but sometimes I do.
Perfect. A more formal word is procrastinate, but put things off is easier and more natural for this level. Why do people put things off?
Usually because the task is boring or they feel overwhelmed.
Very true. Can you summarize all the words for us?
Of course. Reserved means quiet and not very open at first. Easygoing means relaxed and calm. Confident means believing in yourself. Sensitive means feeling things strongly or noticing other people's feelings easily. Stubborn means not changing your mind easily. Tend to be means something is often true about you. Independent means liking to do things on your own. Patient means calm when something takes time. And spontaneous means natural and not overplanned. And put things off means delay doing something.
That's such a useful list. These are all great words for IELTS speaking and for real life too.
Okay, Marco, that was a lot of talking about personality.
Yes, it was. I feel like we just described ourselves, our childhood, and half our habits.
That's true. Let's think about what we learned.
Yes, let's review it step by step.
First, we learned how to answer basic IELTS questions about personality. We used phrases like, I would describe myself as, I think I'm, and I'd say I'm.
Then we talked about how to make the answer stronger. We added a reason and a simple example, like, I'm quite calm because, or I'm friendly, for example.
After that, we learned how to give balanced answers. We used contrast phrases like but, however, and at the same time to show more than one side of a personality.
Then we discussed common IELTS personality adjectives, such as reserved, easygoing, confident, sensitive, patient, and independent.
After that, we talked about common IELTS questions like, has your personality changed? What kind of people do you like? And are you different at home and at work?
And finally, we talked about how to sound natural. We learned to use soft language like a bit, quite, tend to be, and sometimes, instead of making very strong statements.
Exactly. So the good news is that this topic is not difficult if you keep your answer simple, honest, and well-organized.
Yes, you don't need very fancy words. You just need the right adjective, a reason, and maybe a small example.
And remember, personality answers are usually better when they sound real, not perfect.
Right. IELTS wants natural communication, not a movie character.
Very true. Now we want to hear from you. This is our favorite part.
Our question of the day is, which personality trait describes you best and why?
I'll answer first. I think the trait that describes me best is easygoing, because I usually try to stay relaxed and not overreact to small problems.
That's a very good answer. For me, I think the trait that describes me best is organized, because I really like planning, structure, and calm routines.
See, we have different answers, and that's okay.
Exactly. Some people are confident, some are quiet, some are friendly, creative, patient, or independent. So viewers, we want to know about you. Please tell us in the comments.
Write, the personality trait that describes me best is blank, because blank. Or you can write, I think I'm quite blank, but I can also be blank. Or this one, when I was younger, I was blank, but now I'm blank.
These simple comment templates can help you practice writing in English right away. Yes, and your answers help us make better videos and help you practice writing. So please share your answer with us. We really enjoy reading your comments.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope this lesson helps you talk about your personality more clearly in IELTS speaking.
If you enjoyed this video, give this video a big thumbs up and click the subscribe button and the little bell. That way you won't forget to join us for our next lesson.
You are all great students, and we're so happy to learn with you. Keep practicing. Remember, the best IELTS answers are often simple, honest, and easy to follow.
Yes, use real words, give clear reasons, and trust your own voice. You're doing an amazing job. Have a wonderful day, evening, and night, wherever you are.
Take care, keep learning, and keep speaking English. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.